Night Racing League Season 2, welcome to race number 11 of the Formula Renault 3.5 Championship. And we move from the deserts of Dubai to the Far East, and we're on the Sakkito circuit in Japan. The Season 2 Drivers' Championship looks like this, with Bozak now leading with 157 points over Night Racing 727. The Canadian not here for this race either, as Bozak and T-Man will both run their 10th races today. Still in 421, also missing this race. They are all getting set up for North American finales. 3 more races after this one. T-Man a great chance to close that gap on Night Racing for second place. Fanatec has taken the big lead in the constructors, and with Bismoni not here, it is only Vazmak keeping them honest. Nodovan is on the grid as well. Let's check out the starting grid here at Sakkito. It is Bozak on pole, 125.939, with Nodovan chasing him in the points at 126.914. Logan Shawn, 17, a 127.976, a second back with T-Man 1975, with ground to make up a 129 as well. His teammate Scarlett Biwana making Team Dambreville a full roster today, with Jagbase 44 in the Sheriff Tizer, a little off the pace in qualifying, hoping to make some up on the circuit. It's 25 laps here at Sakkito, Japan, as we get the green lights. Nodovan trying to take that second place inside position into turn 1. Side by side with Bozak, who looks like he's got the run. The Jagbase a little wide on the first turn. And the pole sitter does maintain the advantage as they head through the S's. Very tight, but it is qualifying position, grid positions away. Bozak, Nodovan, Logan Shawn, then T-Man, Scarlett Biwana, and Jagbase. It'll be an interesting final 3 races, as we now have drivers who have competed in the 10 of their races. Bozak really maximizing here, as 2 of the top runners are not here to defend, although he's been the cream of the field the last few races anyway. And starting as we head to 130R for the first time, starting to pull away from the Canadian in the Vazmak already. Lap number 1 of 25 in the books. And already a 2-horse race, as Logan Shawn and T-Man just as close together for 3rd and 4th. Scarlett Biwana holding on to the back there in 5th. Little wide at the second Degna there for Logan Shawn, and that's going to give T-Man, you can see the Sakkito circuit, no hairpin and no chicane at the tail end of the lap. They just scoot right around down here and head down towards Spoon. T-Man now putting a nice challenge here on the American. As they head up to 130R. into lap 3, and already more than a second lead now for Bozak. It has been an interesting transition point, and now Nodovan is starting to be in the same boat, although he's been putting in so much track time on both of the platforms here. Still running all the practice sessions here on the Project Cars 2 side, but he ran his first esports endurance race last weekend at Suzuka. And everybody preparing for Watkins Glen next week, so very, very tough getting all the time in to be competitive, and he's doing very, very well here. Cars slipping and sliding as they're on the limit there, is completing lap number 3 into the 27s for Bozak. And that is within a second of qualifying pace, as the tires are up to temperature now. And the Domberville's now very, very tight, as Scarlett Biwana is starting to put a little pressure on his teammate, the all-British team. This is turning into a pretty nice little battle for third place. We'll be watching that as we head back up front. Bozak completing another lap. I'd say Nodovan right there, just in case he makes any mistake, but when's the last time you saw that? I guess the ultimate answer would have to be Hockenheim, wouldn't it? It's an interesting finish to the season here, as the teams head to Long Beach for the street circuit in race 12. Then it's Watkins Glen, and finishing off the schedule at the Indy Road Circuit. So a great series of technical tracks. And it will be the first time this series has ever run on a road circuit, or a street circuit rather. I suppose you could say Monaco. I still think of that as a Grand Prix circuit just because of the history, but I guess technically it is a street circuit, isn't it? Still one of the best races we've ever had in this series. Bozak a little wide in the S's there. T-Man a little wide there too on the second Degna. He's definitely under pressure here from his teammate. He's opened a little bit of a gap, but clearly pushing that car to its limit. Scarlett Biwana still sort of a part-time driver here, runs his own league. Be great to have him as a full-time teammate. We know he and T-Man constant communication, so as Season 3 approaches, everybody's setting up to get their grids ready for next year. We know we're probably losing some drivers now that the Night Racing League has expanded and moved out into iRacing and the esports teams. So always looking for young blood here. The FR35 is a top series. We don't know what we're running in Season 3 yet. That is going to be up to the Project Cars 2 team. A great group of young drivers coming up here. Logan Shawn, new to the series. Jag Bass joined this year. Stillen is going to be running this series in Season 3. None of them will be able to resist, I'm sure. So we can't wait for that. We'll be covering it all here on the Mixer channel. As we head into lap 8 here, Bozak, a little puff of smoke there coming out of turn 2. We're starting to think of pit stops here, 25 laps, mandatory pit stop. It's not mandatory to do anything except stop in your box. However, these guys do tend to run through the tires, and with the fuel and tires coming in at the same time, it's really not a disadvantage to take fresh rubber. You're going to make that time up on the circuit. I don't think we've ever seen anybody do a stop and go in this series. We continue to run into the 27s. Bozak pulling away. The other driver's still stuck in the 128s. One minute 30s for that third place battle. Logan Shawn back down to Scarlett Biwana. On board with Nodovan through 130R. That just seems frighteningly dangerous to be going through there without the chicane. But one of the characteristics of the Sakkito circuit. And a very interesting, kind of unintuitive pit lane entry as well when you drive this circuit for the first time. Onboard Logan Shawn now in third place. Really a fantastic battle here with T-Man. T-Man is, of course, kind of the foxy old veteran, and I would not put it past him to just be sitting there waiting for the pit stops to go by, assessing the situation, and then maybe putting a little more. I think I saw the D'Amberville go wide there, but there's no need to really put it all on the line yet. He's planning this race out to lap 25. He's not trying to get it all sorted out before the pit stops, I'm sure. So much happens in these pit stops, whether it's a pit lane entry or penalty, or somebody misses their box, or anything can happen, and it's really not all that necessary, should we say, to put it on the line before you really know what's going to be happening at the end. So a nice view on the back of that Rappaolio, and they come through to start lap number 11. Jagbase 44 running in 6th place. Well, Jagbase has also been doing a lot of testing in the Ferrari on the esports side. There's been talk now of a gold and a blue team running 2 cars in these endurance events, so be interesting to see that as the leader pushes off in Spoon. He saves it, doesn't collect that barrier, the advertisement sign there, so shouldn't be any damage, but he's pushing there. 6-second leads, 6.5 second lead, but shows you how on the limit these guys are. Scarlett now has dropped back about 3 seconds from the 3rd place battle. Maybe these tires are starting to cry a little bit as we get ready for our pit stops here. Generally lap 12 to 15 is when we see pit stops in this series. Try to keep the tires as fresh as you can for the light fuel. A little bit wide on the entry to turn 1 there. Definitely getting close to when they want to be putting fresh boots on these cars. So we'll watch very carefully. Running lap 11 right now up front. Even the leader with that little bit of an op there, as we've got a slow down penalty we're hearing from Logan Shawn, and that's going to give T-Man 3rd place. So there you go, as we were saying, the wily old vet sitting back and waiting for the opportunity, and it's handed right to him. T-Man 1975 onto the podium now, as Logan Shawn exceeded track limits and had to slow down through the Degnas. And T-Man comes around to start lap 12 in 3rd position. Great job for him. Back into the 29s, as we saw 130 there for Bozak, as he had that little bit of an off in Spoon. He's recovered, but as you can see, they are all starting to suffer from these older tires. We're expecting pit stops really any time now. Ooh, just hooking that inside curb, and that is Scarlett Biwana is off. We get a replay just exiting, coming up the hill after the S's, and the car spins around on him, and that's suspension. You can see he's lost the left front there, and that's a long way from the pits. Hopefully he'll get that car back. Just as the pit window is kind of opening up, if you try to split this race in half, and maybe a lap sooner would have worked there. Take the light fuel load. Well, it's not really a light fuel load, is it? These guys will take fuel as well, so you're really splitting the race. They try to get past halfway. It comes to bite Scarlett Biwana there. Still shown in 5th place, as he had quite a lead over Jagbase. We're back to our battle for third as they do not pit. T-Man now back under pressure from Logan Shawn. And Logan Shawn is great toe there and takes back the third place down the main straightaway. Boy, that almost looked too easy. We don't know what the downforce settings are for these cars. But, boy, oh boy, Logan Shawn just blasting past the Dombreville down the front straightaway and regains that third position he had to give up with the slowdown penalty. Up the hill toward the pits. This is Nodovan toward 130R, and we still awaiting. And the smoke! Nodovan is around. Doesn't look like he's hit anything. Everybody's struggling for grip here, and he's going to come into the pits. He's had enough of those tires, and that must have been the fastest corner on the track, on board with Nodovan to have a look. And yeah, the rear end just comes around, and that is extremely fortunate he didn't collect anything there. Back live as Logan Shawn with a large gap behind him. Where has T-Man gotten to? And Scarlet Biwana is retired, just did not get that car back to the pits. There he is retiring, and this is a replay of T-Man. Maybe we'll find out what happened to him. Oh, and very strange there, just the car slipping and sliding through Spoon, and now he's done the same thing. Both Dombreville cars having issues here before the pit stops. Logan Shawn is in. That's a scheduled pit stop, and you can see T-Man now has made it back around 130R and is struggling to find an access road to get his car back to the pits. So at least one of the Dombravilles will still be running, but it's... Boy, they were third and fifth not too long ago, and it's all kind of gone sideways from that point. As Logan Shawn now is going to have a strong third place. This is Nodovan, who had his incident as well, but thankfully didn't hit anything. Went straight into the pits, got fresh tires, and still maintains a large lead over Logan Shawn, who has pitted now. It's over a 30-second lead to third place there. And 12 seconds up to... Sorry, no, 52 seconds. Our leader has not made it to pit road yet. We'll see. Very wide on 130R, but we'll see if there's any kind of undercut advantage here for Nodovan. Here is your leader, Bozak, who does seem to be able to stretch these tires. Running lap number 15 now. And you've got to be expecting him in any time. The rest of the field has been in, whether they wanted to or not. And with that incident, you notice on the leaderboard, Jagbase 44 up into fourth place, as Bozak will make his pit stop on lap 15. No need to rush this. You can certainly afford a half a second here and there to make sure pit road speed is safe. Logan Shawn will unlap himself. And here is Bozak, still not at Spoon yet. He's just coming to Spoon now. So he's not going to threaten the leader at all. And we'll get a gap when Bozak rejoins. Still coming down a bit. We're watching that. T-Man is back on the track, service done, and the car fixed, but that has really, really hurt his race. Down running in 5th now. Teammate has retired. And that is Logan Shawn in front of him, but there's a lap between them. Bozak on the circuit, and the gap has stabilized around 10 seconds. And he's got Jag Base there lapped behind him. Running in 4th. This is a good finish shaping up for Jag here. The car's not showing up and others having issues. He has solidly put this car up to 4th. And that'll be a good haul of points for the Sheriff Tizer team, especially with Stillen not here. There is Jag. Now leading his countrymen by 50 seconds, so that repair time took a lot. There is the other Domberville in the pits. Retired after lap 14 on this race. Unfortunately, when he had issues, it was way too far away from the pits for him to get back. These cars will overheat. If you sit there spinning the rims trying to get it all the way around, it doesn't take very long without air going into the rads for the engine to say, yep, I've had enough. So we have lost Scarlett. T-Man had almost the same accident, but at coming out of Spoon, was able to get it up the hill and back to the pits to have that car serviced. He circulates now in 5th. So Bozak in his 10th race. But he's going to have a big lead in the championship. 3 races to go. If he finishes with the lead, that'll give him 182 points. And that will be a 38-point lead over Night Racing 727. Now, almost insurmountable, you would think, but as we say, only your best 10 finishes count. Bozak has got a great season going. But Night Racing still can count all of the points he scores for 2 of the 3 races, and then will have to drop his worst finish in the 3rd race. Bozak is going to be dropping from now on. So his first one, obviously, the big crash in Hockenheim, that'll be a drop for Bozak. So he effectively can score fairly good points in Long Beach and only need to drop the 6 points from a 7th place finish. So he could still get 19 points for a victory, for example. Knight really needs to start making some wins. Of course, if Bozak were to win here, it would be his 3rd consecutive win and 4th of the championship. Night Racing only 2 wins, Monza and, of course, Monte Carlo. 3 seconds for Knight. He's, well, as we say, he can score 2 full points, and then he has to drop a 5th place finish. After dropping the 7th, Bozak is going to have to... He has a 5th to drop as well. He was 5th in Le Mans. And then a 4th place in Monza. So not a ton of points that can be scored after Long Beach for Bozak. He can still score points. But it's the difference between 5th place and wherever he finishes, and the difference then between 4th and wherever he finishes. So that 38-point lead is not as large as it seems because of the way the points shake out. Of course, it means Knight is going to have to race all these races. But all the work going into the other series at the moment, that has been a tough go. That's not why he wasn't here this weekend. Some other issues getting in the way. But it will be an interesting finish as we head to the U.S. to finish off the Formula Renaults and the GTEs. The GTEs with, just with a great finish to the season. Circuit of the Americas, Road America, and then the 1-hour finale at the Daytona Road Course. And I could have swore I saw Ballard flying in the background there, not have been having some more fun at 130R, was he? So that is the points situation as we head across the Pacific. And that is the next Xbox race, February 22nd in Long Beach. As we get a week off next week, scheduled in, the esports endurance team racing the 6 hours at the Glen. And we'll have live streaming of all 6 hours of that race for you here on Mixer. Been very impressed, actually, without really much advertising, how many views those streams are getting. I'm sure it's not full 6 hour views. That's very slow. What's going on here with Nodovan? That car sliding around and not up to pace there. It's got a very large gap to third place, so certainly no reason to do anything silly. Remember, we saw something flying there in the background when he was coming around 130R. I wonder if he's had a little bit of damage to that car. As we check back in with T-Man coming through what effectively is the hairpin on this circuit. A very, very fast transition from the Degnas to Spoon Corner. For a minute gap for Nodovan over Logan Shawn, so no need, if there is an issue with that car, he certainly doesn't need to push it. As T-Man has now retaken 4th place. I missed that one. And it's a large gap to Jag Base, so something happened to Jag there on the circuit, and we missed that. Sorry about that, but he has now dropped to 5th. T-Man has got the Domberville after a very exciting day, to say the least, back into 4th, and that's important as he tries to close that gap to Knight Racing, and more importantly, extend the gap over Stillen. This is T-Man's 10th race. Stillen has done 9, and that is Nodovan. Has crashed 130R again, and he's taken the left front off that car. As it scrapes its way to the pit entrance. And how close is Logan Shawn now? Here he is, coming through Spoon. As we were just saying, no reason for Nodovan to be pushing that car. He had such a huge gap, and it's gone around on him. Logan Shawn through 130R. And he is going to take 2nd place right now as he goes down the main straight. Here comes T-Man. So Director keeps getting inadvertent shots of Scarlet Buana's car. Is Nodovan out of the pits now? Trying to get a shot of Nodovan here. T-Man still shown in fourth. I'm just looking at the gaps here, though. They're very, very close. No, sorry. It's he's still a lap behind there. So Nodovan... Nodovan's still in the pits. As you can see, the gap just climbing in real time. So he's still in the pits. T-Man coming around now. Through Spoon. I would love to get a shot of Nodovan to see what's going on in the pits there. There he is now. Just clearing the pit box, so he's going to maintain third, it looks like. Here is T-Man just now coming. It's going to be closer than we thought. And there they are, right together on the same straight. T-Man, is he going to get that podium after all? As there's only 2 laps to go here as well. The end of the race has kind of snuck up on us with all this stuff going on. But here you go, a battle for the final podium spot after all that's happened. And we've got a 2-lap shootout. Now, Nodovan, I'm sure, will have fresh tires on that car. And we're hearing that was one of the problems when he came in, and that car is still sliding around. Dirt tracking a Formula Renault out here. We're told he did not get tires on his original pit stop. So that explains maybe the grip level of that car as he shoots very wide, and T-Man is going to get that podium position. 3rd place for the Englishman. And major championship implications there as Nodovan comes back at him. Oh, this is great stuff. Side by side in 130R is not what responsible humans do. And Nodovan thankfully backed out of that one. He may have had the inside, but he certainly did not have the angle to take that corner safely, and that was very well judged by the Canadian as he takes a look into turn 1. T-Man has that covered off. Our leader is on lap 24, so 2 laps to go. And Nodovan is falling back a little bit. You'd have to think he took tires when he got that car fixed, wouldn't you? As we're on board, he is still sliding around. And it looks like T-Man has got the better of him there. What a recovery by the Englishman to put this car back on the podium. Everybody has had issues except for the leader. As Bozak on his final lap now. As we say, looking to win his 3rd race in a row in Formula Renault 3.5. This battle is a lap down. As we're now on board with Bozak, who will win his 3rd consecutive race and extend his championship lead to 38 points over Night Racing 727. Logan Shawn, 17, come home in 2nd place. the only other car on the lead lap. This battle for third, which was a great battle for a lap and a bit, has now settled out. They're a lap down. T-Man, oh boy, Nodovan is absolutely throwing that car through every corner you can, but just doesn't seem to have the grip to do anything. So Bozak wins, Logan Shawn second, and it very much looks like T-Man 1975 will be third, Nodovan fourth. Jagbay still out there running, will be our fifth place finisher. He's already crossed the line. Scarlett Biwana, a DNF after retiring after lap of 14. And through the final corner to make it official, T-Man 1975 will come home in third. So what an eventful race. Here in Sakkito, Bozak wins it. Logan Shawn, 1 minute and 11 seconds behind. Bozak, the only driver not to have an issue. T-Man and Nodovan a lap down. Jagbase 2 down, with Scarlett not classified in 6th. It gives Bozak his 38-point lead over Night Racing 727. T-Man gets back within 19 of the Canadian, still in 14 behind. Here's a look at the Constructors' Championship as we have 3 races to go in the Formula Renaults. Join us for race 12 at Long Beach.